What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC 101 declaration predictions taking place August 8th from the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Solid night of fights. This should be a decent card from top to bottom. As always, going to work my way from the bottom of the main card all the way to the top like I normally do. First fight of the night, Josh Neer taking on Kurt Pellegrino. Josh Neer training out of Militich Martial Arts. Solid striker, good grappler, decent takedown defense. Looked really good in his last fight against Mac Danzig, ended up pulling off a triangle choke. He's taking on a formidable opponent in Kurt Pellegrino, who trains out of Pellegrino MMA and also Team Sid Young Tung. Pellegrino, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, decent hands, solid wrestler, decent cardio. This is going to be a back-and-forth fight, I think. Neer has good takedown defense. He has shown time and time again that he can get back to his feet. I think Pellegrino will look to take this fight down. He's going to try to use his top game, which is where he likes to get primarily most of his submissions from and where he likes to have dominant positions. I think that Pellegrino can last on the feet. He'll probably try to move in and out of the pocket to try to set up a takedown. I think he'll do enough with getting the fight down, trying to move for dominant positions, trying to look for submissions to sneak out the fight. It'll be a very, very close fight, I think, and I think Pellegrino will take a split decision, so that's my pick. All right, next fight, Kendall Grove taking on Ricardo Almeida. Kendall Grove training out of BJ Penn's MMA. Solid Muay Thai practitioner. Has really improved on his in-close boxing, and being able to work well in the clinch. He's got decent takedown defense, and as an underrated grappler on the ground, people don't give him enough credit. He's really, put himself back into the UFC swing of things as far as, getting the win over Jason Day and also getting the win over Evan Tanner. He's taking on Ricardo Almeida, who's training out of the Gracie Baja Combat Team, and also Renzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, has good jit skills, off of his back and on top, has improved with his hands, and has, solid wrestling. Came in back into the UFC, beat Rob Yunt with the sick guillotine choke that he did. Ended up losing the split decision to Patrick Cote, and then came back and beat Matt Horwich. I think in this fight that Almeida will look to take this fight down to the ground. That'll be the key to this fight. Is Almeida going to be able to get Kendall Grove down? If Kendall can put Almeida, in the clinch, we could see some problems for Almeida. That would probably be the one spot where he might have some trouble. But besides that, I think that Grove will have some good combinations on his feet. He will have his chances, but I think Almeida will be able to get Kendall Grove down. He'll be able to get a dominant position, look for submission, and I think he's going to get it. So I'm going to say Ricardo Almeida gets a late second round submission. All right, next fight, Amir Sadallah taking on Johnny Hendricks. Amir Sadallah, of course, back from his injury, training out of Extreme Couture, has a black belt in Sambo, good judo skills, good Muay Thai skills, decent takedown defense. We've seen that throughout some of his fights. He's taking on Johnny Hendricks, who's training out of Extreme Couture. Of course, Johnny Hendricks had his two impressive fights in the WEC, and then with them axing the 170 division, he's moved into the UFC. Solid wrestler, good striking, has decent sub-defense. I think that Amir Sadallah will be able to keep this fight on the feet. Hendricks is a very, very talented wrestler. He does have some improved striking skills. I think that Sadallah is going to use footwork. He does that very well. He's going to move away, use some good leg kicks, keep Hendricks guessing to where he doesn't know what Sadallah may be doing or what he may be looking for. If Hendricks gets this fight down, which I think he will at some points, I think that Sadallah will look for submissions. He's very, very good off of his back. I think Sadallah is going to catch Hendricks on the feet, probably late second with the TKO. So that's my pick. I'm going to say Amir Sadallah, second round TKO. All right, on to the next fight. Co-main event, Anderson Silva taking on Forrest Griffin. Anderson Silva training out of the Black House Gym. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Excellent striker. Very, very good clinch. Excellent Muay Thai skills. Has improved with his wrestling and his takedown defense. We saw that with the nasty wrestler switch that he pulled on Nate Marquardt when they fought. He's beat so many people in the UFC. James Irvin at 205, Talis Latis, Travis Luter, Nate Marquardt, Rich Franklin twice, Patrick Cote. He's pretty much annihilated, the middleweight division, and is trying to do the same to, the 205 pound weight class. He's taking on Forrest Griffin, who's training out of Extreme Couture. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, very, very expendable and durable. Can last in a fight. He has very good, kicks, whether it be to the body, inside leg kicks, outside leg kicks. Very, very good. He likes to, use the clinch when he can. He's been doing that more, and has really been, a lot better with calming down and using good game plans, which has helped him in his fights, especially against Shogun, and definitely he did so against Rampage Jackson. In this fight, this fight really comes down to whether or not Forrest can use his size and can use that to put Anderson Silva in tough situations. One of those is the clinch. Forrest Griffin's clinch is underrated. People don't realize that he does have a decent clinch. He does do well in that position. If he can put Anderson Silva up against the cage and use his size, maybe go for a takedown, get on top of Anderson Silva, that's where he's going to have his best opportunities. He's got good enough grappling skills that I don't think that he could get caught on the ground in that situation. However, Anderson Silva has some of the best footwork in MMA. He has some of the best striking. He is at times orthodox and then unorthodox at the same time. He gives different looks to different fighters. I think that he's going to have good footwork. I think he's going to move in and out of the pocket. I think he's going to keep Forrest Griffin guessing. And if it gets in the clinch, I think Anderson Silva can get out of that. And I think he's going to catch Forrest Griffin. I'm going to say that Anderson Silva catches Forrest Griffin early second, middle second with a TKO and finishes him. So that's my pick, Anderson Silva via a second round TKO. All right, on to the main event. BJ Penn taking on Kenny Florian. BJ Penn training out of BJ Penn's MMA. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, primarily his Jiu-Jitsu. Loves using his top game. That's where he's primarily dangerous, even though he is good off of his back, but primarily uses that as a defensive posture. He's got very good boxing skills, some of the best takedown defense in MMA, very, very flexible, does crazy things with his legs, unbelievable stuff. You wouldn't believe that he actually does these things unless you see him fight. Just lost to GSP, beat, Joe Stevenson, Sean Shirk, beat Jens Pulver in order to get his shot at the title. Very, very talented guy at the lightweight division, is, taking on a guy that wants to take his belt. He's taking on Kenny Florian, who's training out of the team Sid Young Tung, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, solid Muay Thai practitioner, very, very good in the clinch, has improved with his wrestling and his takedown defense, and has very, very good kicks. He loves to throw body kicks to try to wear guys down, to keep them guessing. I have gone back and forth on this fight, and the only reason that I have is because of the fact that Kenny has improved so much since the last time, that we've seen him in a title fight, which was against Sean Shirk. With that being said, however, there is some problems that BJ poses to Kenny in this fight that I think Kenny may not be able to overcome. Kenny, while he is good with his kicks and, his Muay Thai, his hands as far as his boxing, it's still an area of his game that I think he needs improvement on, and that's an area where BJ is going to catch him and pick him apart. I think that that's what's going to be the difference in this fight. I don't think Kenny's going to be able to get BJ down. I think BJ's going to keep this standing. He's going to, move in, use the good combinations, counter very well. I think he's going to be able to counter, most of what Kenny throws at him. I think this fight's going to be back and forth. I think BJ will be able to take 3, if not 4, of the 5 rounds, and I think this one's going to go to a decision. It's going to be tough for Kenny to stop BJ, and I think it's going to be tough for BJ to stop Kenny. Both of these guys are tough individuals. They do not quit. I think this fight's going to go to a decision, and like I said, I think BJ will have the better of the combinations on the feet, use the countering that he likes to do, use the jab very well, move in and out of the pocket effectively, and I think he takes a decision in this one and retains his lightweight championship. So that is my pick. Leave me some comments, constructive, negative, positive, as always. I'll be back the night of or the night after to do my review. Make sure to check out my sponsors in the description side. And on that note, you guys, have a great day.